Hi there, my name is Diane Purdy Anderson. I'm a transformational life coach, and what I'm going to do today is take you through how to create a 3D vision board. Now, why do we need to create a vision board? It's to help us to manifest the life that we want. And how does that work? It's because our brain works in such a way that it has to relate and identify to something for us to be able to manifest it and create it, because it has to see it as being something that is part of our life. So what we do is we create the board, and because we live in a 3D world, it's why I'm going to show you how to create a 3D vision board today. But with the board you create manifestations, so you have sayings or words that you say every day that are relative to the pictures or graphics that you have on your vision board. So for example, the one we're going to do now is around coaching. So one of your affirmations that you may use would be I am, and it must be positive. It must be an I am, not I will be or I want. It is an I am statement. I am already a successful coach or public speaker. And then you have a graphic that has a picture of hopefully yourself with a microphone or headset or something on, or of somebody else who is standing on a stage or in front of a mic, or somebody that you can relate to public speaking or coaching on a stage. So I hope that you enjoy what I'm going to show you, and if you want to know more information, please just look me up. My company is Redefining Our Love, and I'm a transformational life coach. So before we start doing our board, what we need to do is get ourselves a piece of A3 cardboard, stock board. It doesn't matter on the color because we are going to cover the whole of it. Then we need to find a whole lot of images that inspire you, are relevant to what it is you're creating your image board for, and we need to cut them out. Now, the magazines that I find have the most are generally Homes and Gardens, because it gives you things that are relevant to outside, holiday places, general items. But if you've got magazines that already at home that are relevant, it might be decor magazines, it could be business magazines, anything that you have that you, or even travel magazines or travel brochures from tourism operators, find pictures that you want to build your vision around. And I find that having pictures that are relevant to where I want to speak or where I want to hold workshops helps me, as well as having photographs of myself in it. Now, you can also add things to your vision board to make it more interesting, such as the kind of car you want, or the kind of lifestyle that you want to represent. If it's travel, have an aeroplane, or if you want to go cruising on boats, put in a cruise ship. Anything that is relevant to what it is that you are wanting to manifest through this vision board that we're about to create. The other thing you're going to need is a stick of glue, or any form of glue that you can stick it down with, and try and keep your colors of a similar sort of hue and tone. So if the majority of your colors, for example, are orange and red, then try and keep a lot of your colors to orange and red. If it's blue and white, then try and keep that hue to blue, white, and maybe a bit of green, so that it all looks at the end, when we've taken away all the hard lines of your base photos that we put down, and make it more of an even flow, that it all looks like one picture. So, you know, so when your eye travels through it, it sees something over here that could be overlooking something over there, or could be this part is closer, but whatever it is, it gives the illusion of being one A3 picture on your piece of paper, and not multiple squares of paper that are very or images that are very different. I hope that makes sense, and as we progress through this process, you'll understand what I say. So I'm going to fade out now again, and I'll be doing that on and off throughout the video. Is just fading in and fading out as we progress through the stages of making the vision board. So I'll
Here
catch
we
you in
are.
a moment.
I've got a couple of pictures, as you can see, that I'll be using as my background. This one here, I just want to show you that if you find a nice double page spread like that, don't worry about it, because as you can see, I have just sellotaped it on the back, and then it gives me a really nice large picture to work with on the front. I've also taken other cutouts that I liked, and I have cut them out because we will use things like that to create the vision of depth and the 3D. So it doesn't matter what it looks like at the moment, but I'm going to lay my background down and then I will show you what that looks like. And remember, when you are creating your vision board, that you should try wherever possible to use pictures that have meaning to you. So there is one of me actually speaking at a seminar, so that will be on my vision board. Here is another one of me speaking at another occasion, and that will be on my vision board because it makes it more real, and I can actually feel the emotions that I need to when I'm looking at my vision board, because there's something in it for me. So wherever possible, try and include some personal shots. And there's a picture of my son and I that will also go onto my vision board. Alright, so I'll just pause it here. So now, as you can see, I've started putting my base pictures down. They don't all 100% match, but you can see there's sort of a theme that flows. So this one has some greenery going into the greenery. This one is a waterfall coming down, and it looks like it's a continuation into that one, which comes down and flows into here. And then I've stuck a tree in the background because it's dark against the waterfall here, so it looks like it could be part of that, and then that flows with the waterfall coming down in front of it. Now I've got a space over here because my pages weren't wide enough, and all I do is I layer something else. So I could put that there, and you see the leaves sort of bring it 3D closer to you and it gives the illusion of the waterfall being behind it, and it tones in with the rest of the garden as well, because you've got the leaves in the background there, and you've got the oranges and yellows and pinks in, oranges, yellows and browns here, and you've got the oranges and yellows and browns in the waterfall. So that's what we're building. We're doing. We're currently layering it up to create that 3D picture. So I'll pause it here and I'll stick that piece down again. Now I'm going to take this piece, I've just put the glue on, and I'm going to stick it down. As you can see, I have cut out around the edges. They call that fine cropping. It's just so that it gives a little bit of definition where we can, to help create that illusion of being part of something and the 3D. So there you go. Okay, so as you can see, I've stuck that piece down now, so it sort of blends into and brings those two underbase pictures into the foreground. And then I've stuck another one on top of that of Cape Town, because that is something that I like on all my vision boards. I'm originally from Cape Town, so all my vision boards have something of Cape Town on them, and that just, again, it picks up the colors here of the oranges and the greens and the yellows, and it also flows in with that. But it helps to, and as you can see, I've cut a definitive line around there, cropping it along the mountain edge here to help create and layer, to create those different layers. And that's what we're trying to do all the way through. So that is my base for my vision board at the moment. Now if you have words or anything, or another graphic on top of the picture that you don't really want as part of your picture, you can always cover it up, and at the end of this you should hardly be able to see those words at all. They will disappear. So don't stress if you find a lovely picture that you like and you can't cut it out sufficiently because there's something in the way. You can always try and cover it. So there I've started layering. We all want new cars, so that is something that I want on my vision board. So I've stuck a car to cover the lines that were originally between those two. Now the pinky purpley here sort of fades into the wood there, and the car picks up in the lights with the orange from the wood as well, and you've got the black and the dark, so, and this sort of darkish color here, so that all sort of makes it flow as far as colors go. Right, now I've added a few more elements, as you can see. I have put a picture of myself speaking, which I showed earlier on. I've put a wine carafe, a very nice wine carafe, because that is something that I enjoyed is having a social drink with friends, and that is part of what my future will likely be, is having fun with friends and family. I've then put the tree on here to break up that line, so you no longer have a just straight line. That looks more like the tree is in the way of the two pictures going behind. This is me at a conference speaking, and then I have cut out public speaking. As I mentioned earlier, we use close cropping to cut it out, to try and avoid having too many straight lines, and also to try and not have any unnecessary white space, so that we only see what it is that we're wanting to cut out. As you can see, I've cut around myself as well, because that is all I wanted. I didn't want the background behind it. So that is how the layering starts to work, and I don't know if you can see much of that, but that's how it's starting to take shape at the moment. All right, using words such as public speaking or motivation or go do something, like over here on my board I've got a little bit of the background color showing, so I'm going to stick that there simply as a go anywhere, and then it shows, you know, we go anywhere, we're going to go to the falls and have fun. So yes, that's what it's all about. And don't forget, your vision board is all about what it is that you are wanting to create. So if in your speaking career or your conference speaking, think about the places that you want to go, the cities you want to speak in, the kind of audience that you want to do, whether it's going to be casual, whether it's going to be formal. So in this one I'm pretty casually dressed, and this one I'm more formal, because my audiences were two totally different audiences. This one I think was in Los Angeles, and that one was in Bali. So think about the environments that you want to go, and as I say, you know, South Africa is in my heart, and this is from Zimbabwe, so it's all part of Africa, and I can relate to that. So that helps me to bring in the emotions, because your vision board is all about how it motivates and inspires you and brings out those emotions. All right, so as you can see, as I mentioned, this is now starting to hide the lines. So the line has gone from that picture to that picture, and from this picture to this picture, and that one there has got the cropping on it. Okay, so this is where we are at the moment. I've now stuck these down. As you can see, this has got the blue with ask and it is given. I'm picking up the blue from the jumper that I'm wearing. I'm also picking up some blue from the water here, as well as a bit of blue from this picture. So it sort of all tones in, and there's nothing that is screaming I don't belong. And then there's a picture of my son and I. He's taking a photograph, and he could very well be taking a picture of either myself or the waterfall, and I've put a watch there to hide another join, purely because it's part of my manifestation board in that I want to watch. So as I said, you know, I've got public speaking, and there I am in my formal outfit, and there I am in that, and I'm manifesting my car and my watch and anything else that you want. I've put this one over here because I felt it blended in more with the water, and you know, as we said, we've cut out the definitive lines on some of them to like create the layering. So wherever you see a space like that there, I need to now find something that I can put over that will make it look like it's blending in, and so we will keep working up. I'll be back shortly. I have now done some more layering. So at the top you can see I've put Escape on an Adventure, just to cover some of the orange space that I had there. I've put an aeroplane in, and I've chosen one that's sort of flying in a direction, not straight, but it gives the illusion of coming out of the picture. And you're looking for things like that that make it more interactive and more like it's real. That aeroplane, as you can see, is now giving the illusion of flying over the falls. I've taken this and put that across the border that we had there between the two. In the last video I showed there was still a join there, so I've covered it up with that, and then I've taken out a cutout of a dragonfly and put it across both, so it's definitely making it look like that's all one, because it's part of both pictures. I've also over here cut out some lanterns and put them in hanging out of the tree, which just adds a little bit more depth to the picture that was there before. And then I've put a little saying there in the corner here, bringing out the colors of the orange and tying in again with all the oranges in the center. You can really just have fun and do whatever you want. I've put in a little orange pot over there. I've added some words over here. I've done a totally booked out register here, totally booked out for my seminar. And I also stuck this lady over here as she's speaking, just to add some more speaking images in there, because it is about manifesting a speaking gig. And then on the other side over here, I actually cut out a boat that is sailing into, gives the illusion of sailing into the fjord, and I cut around, cropping around the waterway here, so it looks like it was originally part of that photo, but it wasn't. It's something I've added in. And then finally I've simply put simply the best on there. So if we look at it from a whole, you can get a pretty good picture of what it is we've created now from when we started out. And it's just really a matter of deciding what it is you want on your vision board and then having fun. Just having fun.
So I'd just like to thank you for joining me today in learning how to create a 3D vision board, and take this opportunity of wishing you all the best, and may all your dreams, desires and your lifestyle that you deserve come true through the use of your vision board. Have an amazing day. Take care, Diane.